welcome to the EarSauce podcast. This week we've got the usual three of us. It's myself, Matthew. We've got Oliver over here.
Hey guys.
And we've got Manny as well.
Yo.
So I think we said we're going to kick off this week with the Youngboy NBA album review for Top, I believe it's called. I think who took the lead on this one? Was it you, Manny, or was it Ollie?
I believe it was Manny.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I've listened to Top. My thoughts on it. It's an hour long.
21 tracks, right?
Songs. Yeah, 21 songs in there. If I'm being honest, I'll start with some positivity. It's mainly Youngboy. Not that many features, I believe. Two, one with Lil Wayne and the other with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Both really good tracks. The rest of it, you can see Youngboy's influences on the tracks. I feel like he's heavily influenced by Young Thug, but doesn't quite carry the same melodic tones as Young Thug.
Is that because he can't sing as well, or just because he's not really trying to do that? And boom, we've got a failure.
Manny's left the building. Manny was like,
definitely started again.
Just like, that's a bit of a key one. Still, no, just leave it. You should just leave it. It's just,
You can't hear me.
No, we couldn't.
Oh no!
We're experiencing a bit of turbulence on this flight right now, isn't it? Some technical difficulties as well.
But we're gonna land it. We're gonna land it nose first.
Yeah, that's what
Landing with no landing gear right now, man. What the hell?
That's what happens sometimes, and you're.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Let's keep calm and carry on. You know what I'm saying? All right. So where was I? So
You said he hasn't got the melody of Young Thug.
yeah, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that Young Thug melody. There's way too many tunes on there. Probably 4 songs. The song with Snoop Dogg. Let me find the name for that. It was Calling. Also, My Window, Lil Wayne. They're probably like the best tunes on there. Crossroads was a good track too. So 3 tunes out of 21. Yeah. It's not even a collection of singles. That's how bad it is. It's just like, yeah.
Do you know what, Manny? I actually listened to the album and then I skimmed through it the second time round just to like quickly take some notes. And I don't really like NBA Youngboy. And I feel like I can't relate to his music. And I hate how sometimes he's like offbeat when he's rapping. But I would agree with you.
Not do the whole offbeat thing.
Yeah, but he doesn't do it as good as like E40. Like E40 does it sick. He doesn't do it that good.
Blueface is another example of someone that's offbeat like nowadays, and he had a lot of success with it. I know, go on, carry on.
But I was actually surprised with the amount of tracks that I liked. So in addition to the ones you liked, I also liked House Arrest, To My Lowest, Drug Addiction, and The Last Backyard. I thought they were actually all really good songs, and the lyrics were admirable, to put it that way. Like they weren't bad. It was nice that he's like taking it a bit deeper and exposing more of his life. I don't know if it's a common thing for Youngboy, but I appreciate it. So it wasn't as hard as a listen as I thought it was.
Yeah.
But it's not something I'm going to rush back to. I might like delete the album, but just add some of the tracks that I liked and put it into my rotation. But yeah, I was quite surprised.
Okay, so this is my view. I felt that the album had 21 tracks, right? And I liked 3 of them: Crossroads, The Lost Backyard, and Off Season. And I felt that those are the 3 tracks I actually liked that I probably add to my playlist, right? But then so Off Season is track 9, Crossroads is track 2, and Lost Backyard is track 3. Off the track 9, I feel like the rest of the album is actually, I think it's actually rubbish, yeah. And not only that, but the production is really similar on like most of the tracks on this album. It's almost like he's got like, I should really check the credits. I didn't check the credits to see who the producers were, but it's like, especially in that second half of the album, sorry, it's like it's one producer that has almost reorganized his beats. He's restructured exactly that and made subtle changes, so the beats are almost the same, just with like slight revisions to them. So I thought that was just quite poor, really. And as usual, it's one of those things where an album is packed with lots of shorter songs with the hope that it's just going to get lots of streaming hits. Yeah. So, yeah.
I think
I'm not a fan of Youngboy anyway.
Youngboy, he sells a lot. Like, I think
he gets mad streams.
Yeah, so
I don't understand it,
especially on YouTube. So I know for a fact that his music isn't aimed at me. That's fine. I get that. I know his audience is a lot younger, but it's like I still feel that I don't know. Do young people just not appreciate any sort of quality in the lyrics? Like, for me, I feel like metaphors are like such an important aspect as a rapper. I need to see you being able to speak metaphorically and tell a story that way as well. It shouldn't always be so direct, saying, "Oh, I want to shoot someone, or I want to kill myself," or whatever. Like, there's different ways of saying the same thing, and I feel like his lyrics are just boring in that sense. But,
basically, you want his pen game to be like
10 times better than it is.
Like deadly, like not for dispute, just straight vicious with the pen, and you're never gonna get that with him. But I feel like a lot of people nowadays in America like low quality music to refer to Joe Budden, and I don't mean low quality as in it's trash. I just mean like the productions aren't high, the content's not high. It's just average with a good hook.
They put it out there continuously. So rather than making one really good album, they've been making lots of hot trash, but it'd be a constant stream of it. That's what they do. And I know it sounds bad, but it's how I generally see it. So, and I think it's all with me, right? And I've said this before to some of my mates, is that with this guy, it's like when I listen to music, and especially when I start to like a rapper, I like his music, I tend to look into more of their life. So, for example, if I'm listening to a gangster rapper, I want to find out that this guy really is about that life. Or if I'm listening to someone that's got like a different view on life, I want to see why he has it. And like with Youngboy, like, I don't really follow his life too tough, but his stuff comes up on all the blogs, innit? And he just seems like the sort of person that I don't really want to consume their content anyway, because it just seems like he's just not a great person in general, let's put it that way. So yeah, I wasn't impressed by this album.
What have you heard? Like,
he's a wife beater for one. And he had like he had what you call, he had like 2 or 3 women in his house one time, like a couple months back, and they ended up fighting each other. And I think one of them tried to shoot the other one, or tried to stab the other one. And I'm like, why are you creating these situations for these young women? And I don't know if it's like some cult aspect of him and his people. Like, I don't get it, but that's what these girls are on around him. So I don't know if he likes it and he instigates it or what, but he could do more to stop that from happening. But like, you know, some people love that sort of drama in their life, innit? So I'm sure that some of his fans enjoy hearing about it. Whereas for me, I'm just like, that's not how things should be. But yeah,
no from me, dog. Stuff like that.
So yeah, like that. So it doesn't create any sort of affinity for me towards him from me. You know what I mean? I'm just feel to myself that I'm not gonna go on my way to listen to his stuff. Obviously, I listened to it because we're reviewing it this week, but it's not someone I'm gonna be spinning on a regular.
So for me, if I was to rate it, I'm gonna rate it a 1 because that's just that's based off my musical taste. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not gonna listen to it again. Like I have no I have no real affinity for it, to be honest. So yeah, it's a 1 for me.
That's very controversial, Manny, because you gave 6ix9ine last week a 2.
Yeah, that's mad.
I actually would listen to 6ix9ine's album again in comparison to this.
It has more variation, I'll give it that.
Yeah. Like Matt said it perfectly. It's a one-track album with 21 songs that go on for an hour. It's not easy to get digest.
It's basically a cake sliced 21 ways.
Yeah.
To take a different slice, but it's all going to taste the same.
I see. So okay, so you're giving it 1 year. Ollie, what are you giving it? Like, it really is. It's 2. You give it 2. All right, cool. But I personally, I'd give it a 2 because there's a couple of tracks on it that are all right, and I think even so the beats are very repetitive. A lot of the beats are actually decent, just that they just sound the same, which I don't appreciate on an album. But yeah, it is what it is. Like I said, it's not for me, so I'm sure that his people that it's directed at, they would probably enjoy it. So yeah, 2 is fair enough. Cool.
The album that I did listen to that I liked, T was Savage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Afro.
I've heard of her. Yeah. You know, you love your Afrobeats, man.
She was album called Selena. That was a dope track. Dope album. It had features from Sam Smith, one up and coming UK artist called Hamza, female artist. I think she works a lot with Mahalia as well. So like listening to it, it's got loads of good songs in it. I'll definitely recommend it to our listeners. I'll rate it a 3, definitely strong 3.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to listen to that. I'm actually going to listen to it.
It's a nice vibe. It's not like heavy on the Afrobeats. You can tell that they've done a bit of Burna Boy on it to try and make it as mainstream as possible. Yeah. So it's definitely worth a listen to.
Okay, makes sense. That makes sense. Honestly, like I said, I don't really Afrobeats too tough, but I need to start consuming it, man. You got to tell me which Afrobeats albums that are coming out and what to listen to, because it's something that I'm gonna feel like if I'm left to my own devices. I will definitely be willing to put the time in to listen to these albums, because I know that there's every now and then there's always an Afrobeat track that I do like, but it's just like.
I've seen
there's not a single one that I like.
I know, but I'm not going to be someone that's going to go and be up to date what's going on in the Afrobeat cycles and that. So
for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. So what are you rating now out of 5?
Oh, I said 3. Definitely a strong 3.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's a decent score. Definitely a decent score. Cool. So all right then. What's next on the list? We've got Jacquees. Mr. Steal Your Song. He released a mixtape. He released a mixtape, Exit 68, and it's obviously
the
album.
Was it like Now 49 or something like that? Like his re-rendition.
Listen to hits. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was most of the songs on there actually were original songs, to be fair, and obviously with a mixtape, you could. Mixtapes back in the day, or for, at least hip hop and R&B ones, or hip hop mixtapes, sorry, they were mainly remixes to other people's songs, weren't they? So with his one, it's actually mainly new content, new songs. But there are a couple of songs that he did remix/sample. He remixed Twister's Better. I made a song called Easy, and he remixed Tupac's I Get Around, and he called it I Get Around as well. So basically, the beats are the same, but he just singing and giving his own lyrics on top. So generally speaking, I enjoyed the mixtape. It's it wasn't an amazing album or an amazing project, but it was an easy listen. And
standout tracks.
There was a couple of standout tracks actually, but there's some context to it. So the songs that I liked the most were Dope Dealer, Never Again, and ITP. However, I feel like maybe I'm being old school here. In fact, I know I am, because it's again about the whole argument about streaming and having short tracks. Right? But ITP is the only track on the album that's over 4 minutes long. It's just over 5 minutes, and I feel like for an R&B track, for an R&B album, you need to have some longer tracks, because if doing some grown folks activities, you need a bit more than 3 minutes to get to where you need to get to. You know what I mean? So
I think people got short attention spans these days.
If your attention span is that short of everything you do, then man, I really worry. Some things they just need a bit more time to work their way through, you know. So I said ITV's over 5 minutes. That's like the last track on the album, on the project as well. So that was a good track. But yeah, so generally speaking, it's a good project. But I just really feel like we see some more 4-minute tracks. Not every track needs to be 4 minutes or 5 minutes long. We don't need a long intro of every song. I get that, but like we just need something sometimes, you know.
Yeah, I think the sweet spot is like 3 minutes and 30 seconds, or around that mark.
Yeah, like what are you doing in 3 minutes and 30 seconds, man? Like,
I was just talking in general. Like I was just talking for like a song in general, like any song. Like I feel like 3 minutes and 30 seconds is like the ideal.
I feel like you're right about that for the video, but I feel like nowadays with streaming, I feel like they even want to aim for like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. It's that short, especially if you look at the track times on that Youngboy album. That was some of the shots. Most of the shots were under 3 minutes, weren't they? So, yeah,
definitely.
I would give this mixtape. It's like 2.5. I'm about to start doing half airs, you know, because there's so many times I want to give half airs. But like, it's like a 2.5 air mixtape. Maybe a 3. It's just like,
so like what?
It's like 2.67, okay? That's what it is.
Okay, so
it's close to 3, but like honestly, I feel like I believe that Jacquees is actually quite a talented artist. I feel like he sometimes stays in his comfort zone by just copying other people's tracks. But this was definitely a project that he probably found easy to make. And I know it's a
mixtape.
This is also it's a mixtape. It's a mixtape that's coming out before his album as well. I think his album is due in a couple of months. So these could be like throwaway tracks that he couldn't bother to like add another verse onto or whatever like that. So
these are the originals, and the album is going to be like all-time classics remastered by him.
Are you calling him the Black Michael Bublé? I'm sure Tory Lanez.
That's exactly
Tory Lanez has that
want.
title.
Nah, man.
Tory Lanez has that title.
Nah, Tory Lanez relinquished it. He's a shooter, bruv. He's a shooter. He's a shooter, man.
When Tory Lanez ain't busting his gun in someone's foot, he's out here covering people's tracks. Anyway.
Nah, man. He ain't done a cover in a minute. He might have to, though. He might have to. But I want to segue to the wonderful things that are happening in the UK. And I want to talk about Kano's music video.
Okay, that's powerful.
For Teardrops, that was one of my favorite tracks off Hoodie All Summer. It's a phenomenal album. But that music video is not what I expected. Like when I saw him sitting in the car, just chilling, and then the beat come on, I was like, where's he going with this? This doesn't make any sense. And then he just took me on a ride. And when he got pulled out, it was perfectly executed, touching on many sensitive issues that people face across the world.
I feel like a lot of people in the UK that are maybe not from predominantly black areas, they don't understand the fact that police brutality exists in the UK as well, not just in America. They feel like people in the UK are being over the top of their reaction to it, as if it's something.
Did you say people in the UK, or did you say people across the globe? Don't understand.
I thought people in the UK don't understand that it's a UK issue. But I think it's the same as well. I think in America, I think they don't believe that we have issues with the police here. But I guess obviously it's a bit different that for a police to shoot us, it's more of a occurrence than it is in America. Like police shoot someone in America every day. But over here, that'll be like maybe once a year, if that. But we do get the beatings, we do get other brutality coming from the police in the UK. But no, the Kano, my first reaction to the Kano video was a bit different because I saw it being tweeted out. So I saw people's reactions to it before I saw it myself, so I kind of knew what was like the gist of it. Yeah. And I just thought to myself that what is Sully doing right now? Because he just seemed like he was in Top Boy character, isn't it? But then, the way the bars fit the video so well, even a bit where he like shouting at the guy on the roadside. As he's driving by, and I thought to myself, it's just perfectly timed. The way the police pull up, perfectly timed. and the whole interaction with the police, it just seemed like a man that was just despondent because he's been here so many times and he's just tired of being stopped by the police over bullshit, essentially. Like the reason was that the car's a car that criminals are known to be using in this area. Like
that is exactly what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
it was like a common thing you see like online right now.
Yeah, it's like, so a black man can't have a nice car and just drive around. They're like, come on, that's just ridiculous.
It's in an area where it's disproportionately high for drug dealers or anything like that happening.
Yeah, or this guy's just going about his day. Like, you know what I mean? It shouldn't be bothering him then. So he's.
I'm guessing we all have stories like that anyway. We've been pulled over and that. It's just the same old story every time, isn't it?
It's just true.
Like, sometimes when like you just look into their eyes and then you can just see they're making up as they go along, and like just the game they played with them. It's just
like I've been pulled over. I don't even smoke, and I've been pulled over by the police, and they told me that they could smell weed in the car. Like, I don't smoke, so how are they smelling weed in my car? And like it's just foolishness, really. They search my car, and then they find nothing, and they say let me go. But I've just lost like 20 minutes of my day or 30 minutes of my day.
Yeah.
It's a bit ridiculous. But my point is here, back to the video, is that it's just all really well done. Even the bit where they I don't want to give away too many spoilers of what happens in the video. Go and watch it. The video is called Kano Performs Teardrops. It's from the Grime Daily Rated Awards from 2020. So it's a bit of a miniature masterpiece, to be honest with you. And,
it is.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that. But I think that wasn't the only. Sorry. So what did you say, Nemeas? What did you say?
I was saying big up Kano, East London in the house.
You have to say it's true. Kano always delivers, man. I don't think Kano's ever failed to deliver with any project he's ever put out in any sort of form, any sort of type of media. He always finds
a ethereal character where he doesn't feel pressure to release.
It seems like that. He does it when he does things in his own time. You're right.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably a lot to do with the fact that he doesn't chase money. I think that's a big thing about it. I think he just does things as and when it feels right. I even remember when he had the Mercedes advert, and I was like, how I was just confused. I was Kano advertising for Mercedes, right? And it was just like the advert was just so good. It's just so effortless for him. But,
he's a pioneer, man. Like, people like Kano led the way to D-Double doing adverts for IKEA.
It's true. But it's big brands. It's very true. He was the first, or maybe as far as I know, he probably was the first. I don't think Dizzy Rascal did many big brand adverts. I might be wrong.
Yeah,
that wasn't the only big video to come out this week. We also had a certain man called Stormzy. An amazing video for superheroes.
Yeah,
but
South
to
London,
me, that was up. I know. It's so weird right now. You know, like I remember when I was growing up here, all the good music comes from East London or North London. Yeah, like Northwest London, whatever. But it was never really. Or there was a couple of artists, but not many artists from South London. So now, when you see so many of the biggest artists come from South, like that is just like I'm so proud of that myself, being a Croydon boy. But like, yeah, it's great. But yeah, Stormzy's video, obviously, I think it's probably maybe influenced a little bit by the coronavirus, like being an animated video rather than actual real people coming together to make it. But no, the video was just really powerful and uplifting. It was just great. It was on so many levels.
I think Stormzy's on a mission, like, to dismantle stereotypes within the UK. Like, because if you look at Stormzy, just at his physicality rather than anything he says.
6'5", big black man.
Big black man, yeah. He fits the mold of all the villains you see on, like, your normal UK television. But, like, he's changing that. Everyone loves Stormzy, you know, and he's not taking advantage of that and just monetizing celebrity. He's feeding all of that money back into his community, and I feel like the community is rewarding Stormzy back in that same way. Whenever Stormzy drops, there's lines. It's a moment in the culture, you know. because of how much he means to the UK scene. So, like, for him to do this to inspire the next generation and show them that there are other ways you can be superheroes, I think, like, I rate him. Like, can't say anything bad about Stormzy.
100%.
No, I'm totally in agreement with that, and it's great to see because, you know, I feel like this is not even this is not a black thing, a white thing, or English thing, or an American thing, or whatever. It's a case of anyone that comes from a background of being poor or less well off, should we say, when they get money, their first thoughts are usually to themselves, and if you're lucky, to the people immediately around them, so that their parents, their family, their friends, right? But Stormzy, literally off the back of his first album, like, he just been all about trying to better things for everyone in a certain socio-economical class, and it's amazing to see. Like, even like, you know, he did the foundation to create the scholarship for the kids go to Cambridge.
Yeah.
He created the Murky books to help more people get their books published from different backgrounds. Like, he's just done a lot of things to open doors that, like, I don't think any other artist has done. Like, it's incredible to see.
Sometimes it's even the things you don't see. I remember scrolling BBC one day, and they had like a video of Stormzy building awareness for this charity in South London that go around and paint people's bedrooms.
Oh yeah. So
it's those things as well that count. Like it doesn't even need to be associated with Stormzy, but yeah, he's still using his platform for the greater good.
It's just incredible to see. Like I said, if you get a chance to watch that Stormzy video for superheroes, it's on YouTube. Definitely go and check that out.
Yeah, I actually like that it was an animation as well.
Yeah, it allows you to do a lot more.
Yeah, do a lot more creative as well.
And it also, yeah, that's correct, and also engages a younger audience. And I think that's what it's for. Like, I'm 30, or 31, so there's no, I'm inspired by it, but it's not going to change my life too much. But for our kids that's streaming, it could definitely, give them more resolve to go and follow their dreams rather than to succumb to what the world directly around them says that they should be. So I think it's a great one in that sense.
Especially the little Tracy Beaker snippet at the end.
Yeah.
You laugh where Ashley fits. Obviously, in Tracy Beaker's mind, she's always like this super person. Like,
it's true though.
It's well thought out.
But anyway,
one thing as well, before we move off of Stormzy, he also collaborated with Ubisoft. Exactly. I think was that to premiere the new DLC, which is like set in London.
No, the whole game's set in London, but he's a character in it, and one of his music videos are shot actually in-game engine, which is quite impressive.
Wow, yeah.
So that's something very new. Yes, Watch Dogs Legion is the name of the game, and Stormzy's videos could be shot within that game. It's amazing what you can do nowadays. Yeah. And I think it's amazing what this is coming off the back of COVID. This is like, maybe they would have done that because that's a commercial partnership there, but this whole coronavirus situation is really bringing through new layers of creativity. Absolutely.
From Travis Scott doing online concerts.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah, he did do that, right? Yeah. He's also got a McDonald's meal now, apparently, in America.
Yeah. Apparently, if you go to the operator and you say, "You know what I want," they order the meal for you and they play like a little jingle of
So when they serve it, do they say straight up?
No. They say it's lit, innit? They say it's lit.
Oh, it's lit. Oh, shit.
Cool. So anyway,
go for like 10 grand on eBay.
What, the tops?
No, the mill. Travis Scott mill. Imagine but you know it's McDonald's, so it's going to turn up to your house a month later and look exactly the same.
I don't know about that one, Chief. But yeah, okay. So anyway, next album review. I believe.
Are we staying in UK still?
I want to jump on P Money.
P Money? That's not an album. It's like a little EP.
EP. Yeah.
What are you saying?
I'm gonna be swift with it. First track is dreadful. Like, I don't know what it was. But the next 2 tracks were outstanding. Yeah, I'm a big P Money fan. So,
how many songs on the EP?
3. Okay. So the first track is Bumpercar, and it's
language.
I just didn't get it. I just didn't get it. But then the next track is Someone There. That I like whenever P deep dives into his life, and he just exposes like his insecurities or anything that's gone wrong with him, and he's so descriptive of his lyrics and stuff.
Yeah,
Youngboy could take a few notes from this, but like he just has a really good way of putting things. So there's nothing like mind blowing in terms of creativity or beat selection. It's just quality content. So I'm actually looking forward to the album. But yeah, ignore the first track. The next 2 tracks are really good. Definitely worth a listen.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I think for me, P Money is someone that can do it both ways. He can speak metaphorically, or he can speak just like straight up, giving you saying exactly what he means. And it's nice when someone can do it both ways like that. My views of the EP pretty much same as yours, Ollie. Like, the first track didn't really grab me. Other 2, much more like P Money in his usual form. So yeah, that was what I thought of the While We Wait EP. I don't think you can even give that rating, to be fair. I don't think you can rate 3 tracks.
Yeah,
no, you can't.
Just a little taste. So are there any other EPs?
No other EPs this week not that I listened to anyway. Did you listen to any, Manny?
No, I feel like this week was quite slow in terms of new music. Obviously, we've touched on the big singles. NBA Youngboy probably like the biggest album from like an American artist.
Well, Conway did release an album as well, like From King to a God,
right.
Like from Griselda. But I agree with what you're saying in general, and I think a big part of this is I think a lot of people are actually delaying their releases because of course you release your album and you do get money off the record sales or streams or whatever. But the other part of it is that you normally go and tour your album, and right now touring isn't really possible. So people are trying to delay.
It looks like everyone's going on tour in May, isn't it? Like,
yeah, that's right. And I wouldn't be surprised to see like a whole bunch of albums come out February, March next year. Like you're gonna see like 5 to 10 releases every week at that point because people are just essentially sitting on their tracks right now. And not only that, a lot of them are busy in the studio now because of the fact that there isn't anything else to do. People that maybe would have gone and toured anyway off the back of old albums are just in the studio recording. So, I
reckon that's what J. Cole's doing.
Yeah, J. Cole definitely waiting. And the thing is with J. Cole, he makes silly money off touring as well. So he definitely doesn't want to be releasing it and then not being able to go and sell tickets for his tour. But then at the same time with J. Cole, I'd also say that it doesn't matter. People, if you drop the album tomorrow and didn't go on tour for 2 years for this album, people will still go to that tour. Like it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah. So that was like For Your Eyes Only over here in the UK that came out like a year or 2 later, isn't it?
Yeah. That's exactly what happened. So yeah. So anyway, the other album, what I just said was Conway the Machine. Is it Conway Machine? Yeah. From King to a God. He is actually a very, very talented rapper. This guy. He's just.
Who's he signed with? Like,
he's on this record label called Griselda. Griselda, and what they do is it's him. Who else is on there? There's a few of them. There's 3 main guys.
I think they're all cousins as well.
Yeah, they're all family. I think 2 of them are brothers and 1 of them is a cousin, I believe.
Yeah.
But basically, they are about that serious nitty-gritty rap music. So yes, West Side Gun, Conway, and Benny the Butcher are the main guys on that, right? And they are like, if you like Lloyd Banks sort of rap, that's exactly what they are. Like the 3 of them just do that sort of. It's lots of metaphors. It's lots of good rhymes. It's just the old school 90s hip hop sort of sound, really. To be honest with you, like Jadakiss, Styles P, the Lock sort of stuff, right? But
I've got quite a lot of Ghostface vibes as well.
Yeah, that's true as well. So if that's your bag, you'll definitely like this album. It's the standout tracks are Juvenile Hell, and Lloyd Banks is actually on that track as well, and his verse is crazy. Lloyd Banks said he retired from rap. Obviously, he's not, but clearly the fact that he hasn't been releasing anything means that he's got a lot of pent up energy, let's put it that way, to release out there. So yeah, he really smokes it, and the other guys that are on that track as well are very good. But Lloyd Banks is just. He's really, I don't know, he's someone that I believe he never really fulfilled his potential, because he's actually potentially a top tier rapper. But I don't know whether it's his work ethic or whatever else, he just never really fulfilled his potential. Could be 50 Cent's fault.
Lloyd Banks is a legend on the streets.
He is a legend, but he could have just been so much more, I think. But so that was one track. I've seen Everything But Jesus. That's Conway and Freddie Gibbs on that. That's an excellent track. I love Freddie Gibbs as well. He's another excellent rapper. And they got another track called Answer with Armani Caesar. That's like the first lady that signed to Griselda Records as well. And that was another track that I could see being decent in the clubs as well. So I have all the time I wanted to these guys. Say that again, sorry?
Was it a long album?
Not particularly long. It was I don't think it was much more than an hour.
Cool.
Yeah, so it wasn't too crazy. But in generally speaking, it's just it's a really easy listen, you know. And I think that whenever I think an album's an easy listen, that's when I think an album's good. Because if I'm playing an album and just saying stuff, it sounds like rubbish to me, I'm gonna turn it off. You know what I mean? I'm gonna skip through the tracks. So it was definitely enjoyable for me.
Cool. So what's your ratings?
Ooh. I give this one. This is a strong 3. It's like a 3 and a bit. So it's not a 4. It's definitely not a 4. It's a strong 3. Say that again, sorry?
Same level as the Jacquees. Is it Jacquees?
See, that's why I say that the half rate is a key here, because it's not the same. It's not the same level, but it's different as well, because it's different genres of music. Like as an R&B album, it's easier to get a 3, I think, than it is for a rap album, at least for me, because of the fact that when I'm listening to rap, I want to hear some metaphors, I want to hear some clever wordplay, I want to hear some double entendres and stuff like that, right? Whereas when I'm listening to R&B, as long as the voice sounds good, as long as the beat's good, the lyrics could be a bunch of doo-doo. It wouldn't really matter that much to me. You know what I mean? So it's definitely harder it's definitely harder to get a higher rating from me in hip hop album.
Yeah. No,
that's fair. 3 years. That's what I give it.
Cool.
I need to listen to that. I ran out of time this week, but
you'll definitely enjoy it.
I'm looking to it. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. Should have played that into the NBA.
Cool. So anyway, another video that was posted this week, Skrapz put a Daily Duppy up on TV. What do you guys think?
Skrapz got the best flow for me in terms of gangster UK rappers.
It sounds a bit like Nines.
They do sound similar, but Skrapz just got a bit more of a greatness to them.
I don't know. I don't think so.
There's a similarity. I wouldn't say they're the same. You can definitely tell them apart, but there's a similarity.
He's a bit more nonchalant. So when he delivers it, it's a bit more. You get me? It's a bit colder. It's a bit grittier. But I was blown away. That was amazing. I like the visuals as well.
Yeah,
the visuals are really, really good.
The Daily Duppy, they've been on their game. I think is it season 3? I'm not sure what season it is, but they've been really on it with their visual game. And for someone like Skrapz, who's always full of metaphors, it works perfectly. I think his flow is just really good, man. Again, it just brings back memories of that monster track with him and Nines, where obviously I think the similarity is they've both got a really good flow. So then going back to back on a nice beat, it just shows the amount of quality there is. Are they both from Northwest?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, it just shows the amount of quality they got up there.
I feel like that Skrapz freestyle had a lot of takeaway bars in it as well, which I actually quite like. You know, you need those punchlines every now and then. And he talked about one about people chatting shit basically on the internet, and how he just leaves that for the pussies. Of like the way he dropped the bar is that's what I thought that it was amazing. It was amazing. It was like he's actually a very talented guy. I think sometimes talent's overlooked when people are so much in the streets or whatever. People feel like, can a street rapper really be a talented rapper? And yes, they can. Like, you see that a lot in America. But maybe over here, those sort of rappers are overlooked a bit more because they are less radio friendly. You can't really use it to sponsor something. You know what I mean? They're not so approachable to commercial activities, I guess. But in terms of the quality of their music, in terms of the quality of their bars, it's right up there. So yeah, I was really impressed by his Daily Duppy, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm actually really excited for the album now.
Yeah, me too. And to be fair, like I know that they're completely separate artists. They're just like on the same label and they're like besties. But the quality of Nine's album made me look forward to Skrapz' album more as well, because obviously they're going to have like a similar. I believe that they are. I might be wrong, but I think they are. But yeah, basically the fact that I know that them two have similar resources to tap into. I don't think that Skrapz is signed to Warner Brothers as well for the bigger budgets for like other aspects of his recording. But in terms of like producers and stuff like that, I'm sure that he have a similar array, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Skrapz can come up with.
Yeah, same.
Another video that dropped, so I'm not sure if you guys got a chance to see it, but Pot of Paper released his video for his track Science, which looked like he had a bit of a Breaking Bad theme to it, which I actually quite enjoyed. That one. Like, Pot of Paper is a rapper actually that I don't even listen to that much. Like, to be honest with you, people have told me to listen to him, but I haven't really. I know he came out of prison like just a couple of months ago. But
I feel like he's everywhere.
He kind of isn't on social media at least. He does seem to get like a lot of exposure, and it's weird because, like I said, I've not really heard much of his music, but as a personality, he's clearly up there and out there. So it's interesting to see. But his song Science here, that he's clearly a talented rapper. It's a very good song. I liked it, and I like the video a lot as well because obviously the Breaking Bad kind of aspect I'm getting to it. So it's an enjoyable watch. You guys definitely go and spin that as well. All these videos are on YouTube as usual, so that's definitely something you guys should go and do after you listen to this amazing podcast.
Yeah, definitely. Another news: Tion Wayne got signed to Atlantic. That was big news.
Yeah,
I think he was meant to be independent, right?
Yeah. That's right.
I feel like he's one of the like feature kings in the UK. Like most of the.
It's looking at it. He's on a bit of a trajectory, isn't he? He's got like a good level of progress I'm seeing coming from him.
Yeah, I didn't even know that happened. That is quite good.
Imagine like the features you'll get on his album then. Jesus Christ. Panic, they could probably go on. No, I'm joking. Who they got? Cardi B on there. Who else? Ed Sheeran, definitely. I think they've got. Who's Stormzy? Stormzy Atlantic.
Stormzy's Atlantic as well, and I think also Austin Dabo recently joined Atlantic. So I do wonder how much he is maybe involved in this sort of aspect of it as well.
I think he broke the
news. Teaming up.
It could well be that.
Yeah, on Twitter, I think he broke the news.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I'm sure, like he's got ear to the ground. He's got relationships with these artists anyway, and I'm sure they trust him. So it's probably a lot easier for him to make these sort of deals than it would be for other people in the industry.
Yeah, other news, not related to music.
What's this one?
The US Open.
Are we talking about my bae, Naomi Osaka? Look here, I'm going to have to have words with Corday because like it's not going to work with the two of us and her. You know what I mean? No, shout out Corday. He's actually an excellent rapper as well. One of the leaders of his generation in terms of lyricism for sure. But no, what Naomi's done, 2 times US Open at her age, is incredible. And it's just the way that she's carrying herself, like
a real queen.
Yeah, wearing the face masks. Yeah, she's wearing the face mask with the names of the people that have been slain by the police in America, and she's just done that. And like sometimes when you create a fanfare around yourself, it creates a situation whereby you're putting yourself under more pressure, essentially. Like you're saying, like, look at me. Now everyone's looking at you. Are you going to back it up? And she does. Like she brings the pressure on herself, if you like, and then she goes and beats everyone. It's incredible. It really is incredible.
I feel like Serena.
She destroyed her opponent.
Retired. Like, you know what? I'm passing the crown now.
Well,
she might have to.
You see, this is a sticky point for me because, like, obviously you can never tell a lady, a woman when to have a child, right? But it's like I really feel like Serena could have waited 1 more year just for the sake of getting that crowning achievement of having the most Open titles of all time as a woman.
The thing is, I think she'll still get it, but I mean, like,
I don't think she is going to get it. You know, I really don't. I don't think Naomi's going to let her. There's some young cats out there now that are basically, I wouldn't say they're slapping Serena, but they're beating her whenever she gets to the semi-finals or finals of these tournaments. So I really just think to myself, it's going to be a struggle. She's going to manage to do it.
And it's just age. It's just age kicking in. She can't keep up with them.
It's that now. It's that, and I also think it's age, but also I think your desires change. Like, her desire. But like, I'm not saying she doesn't train hard. I'm sure she's a top professional. And she trains hard as anyone else. But there'll be times where she's like, I could go like for an extra hour here on the tennis courts, or I could go home to my daughter. And she does that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine. But I think that's going to be a difference between her winning another title and not winning it. That's my view on it. And I think that Naomi's just like coming through as a big champion now. She has everything that people would want to see in a champion as well. A true leader, she's dominant, and she's quite charismatic as well. I've started following her on social media recently, and like all of her posts are like they're jokes. She's got a personality there, you know what I mean? Like I just think that like you said, I think that torch has been passed already, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Whether Serena likes it or not.
And to be fair, she's everything Tiger Woods isn't, which is a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's actually going to be a really good role model for many females growing up.
Absolutely.
Don't you want to talk about your boy, Mr. Hamilton, as well? He's doing bits, isn't he, at the moment? I'm seeing him on podiums with the BLM stance.
What are you talking about? Lewis lives on the podiums. That's his home.
That is where all male is addressed to.
That's his natural habitat. Exactly, number one podium place.
His actual habitat.
Didn't he give it up to like a newcomer or something like that, just to give him a bit of shine, or what?
What?
No.
Okay, so this is actually similar one to what we just talked about now, right? Because Lewis Hamilton's basically in the same position as Serena Williams is in terms of one title away from having the most, right? Yeah. So he's on 6 world championships right now, and Michael Schumacher's on 7. So if Lewis wins this title, he'll be on 7 as well. Wins the next one, he'll be on 8. So I don't see him retiring or moving aside until he gets his 8th title. And the way he's driving, the way he seems to take care of himself, he could be around for 10, to be honest with you.
He is not dropped off at all. He just gets better and better.
Exactly. He's aging like fine wine, really. So
didn't he like win a race with all of his tires burst or something like that? Something ridiculous like that.
Oh, that's the thing. I think I could see him getting bored. I could see him maybe meeting someone, and again, the relationship thing kicking in. So rather than traveling around the world every weekend with F1, going and spending time with his partner, I could see that happening possibly. But right now, I don't see anything like that. He just every time he's talking, every time he's tweeting, he's just talking about someone that wants to be in this sport until the wheels fall off, essentially. But then I know the reason you brought this up was because of the fact that he's also been doing his social justice, taking his social justice measures where possible, like wearing a T-shirt at the last race in Mugello, Italy. And it's great to see. Like there were some reports coming out after that he might be getting in trouble with the FIA about it because they say he's politicising the sport. But
Maybe I'm sure you supported them.
Oh yeah,
haven't they?
They backed down now, haven't they? Because like they well, first of all, they're the ones that allowed them to all take the knee at the beginning of the races. Although barely any of the other drivers do it, which I'm not surprised about, to be fair, when you look at their backgrounds. But no, like there was no way that they could punish them, because if they did, that would have just had given them a terrible look as an organisation, seemingly being against the Black Lives Matter movement. So, yeah.
Cool. Okay. What else has happened? Anything else?
I don't think there's been much else going on this week that I can think of, at least right now. But if we do think of anything, I'm sure we can bring it into next week's pod.
Absolutely. Cool. Should we drop socials?
Yeah, let's do that. So guess what? Thanks for joining the EarSauce podcast.
Boom.
For the second, actually, it's EarSauce podcast. I'm Matthew, and my Instagram is at Mr_Matty Lee. Twitter is at Mr. Matty Lee. You guys want to drop your credentials?
Well, Manny,
cool. Manny, follow me at Big Manny on Insta. Ollie, your turn.
Yeah, mine's Twitter is OC_Clark_10.
And yes, tune in next week if you want to get some more sauce for your ears.
Wait, guys, we forgot the most important social to drop, which we need everyone to follow us at EarSauce_ on Instagram, I believe on Twitter as well. And if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We'll be posting lots more content there soon.
Oh yeah, of course.
Cool.